AI-generated video has just taken a massive leap forward, and I don't mean slightly sharper clips or small improvements. Over the past year, we've watched some major breakthroughs in this space. OpenAI introduced Sora. Google continued expanding via an AI system started combining video, audio, and reasoning inside the same model. For a long time, the general belief was simple. AI video looked impressive, but it still needed a lot of polishing. And that was true. But the newest generation of tools feels fundamentally different. Scenes are more structured, motion is more controlled, and outputs feel far closer to something that could actually be used in production. In this video, we're going to test that shift firsthand. I'll generate scenes live using Higgs. We'll explore Cinema Studio 2.0, test the image engine, and generate full scenes with synchronized audio. And if you want to follow along, you can open the link in the description. I'll move fast, so let SE get into it. Think about what happens when you type a prompt, like cinematic rooftop conversation at sunset. Your brain immediately imagines a cohesive scene. You expect lighting, that makes sense, camera movement that feels intentional, characters that stay consistent, and audio that matches the environment. For the past 2 years, the entire industry has been racing to meet that expectation. When OpenAI revealed Sora in 2024, it showed something new. Longer, more coherent sequences. At the same time, Google pushed Veo deeper into creative work. But the real shift isn't just better visuals. It's multimodal generation. Modern AI video systems don't just generate frames anymore. They model time. And once a model starts modeling time, consistency becomes critical. Faces must maintain identity across angles. Camera movement needs to remain believable. Scenes need internal logic. Creators aren't assembling pieces anymore. They're starting to generate complete scenes, and that's exactly where Higgsfield AI positions itself. The idea isn't just higher quality output, it's tighter control inside a single creative environment so creators can stay focused on storytelling. So instead of speculating about it, let's open the platform and actually build something. Higgsfield AI describes itself as one of the fastest growing generative AI companies focused on creator-friendly video tools. Quick transparency. This video is sponsored by them. But instead of just talking about it, we're going to test the platform directly. Inside one workspace, you get access to several different models, including Nano Banana Pro for high-resolution image generation, Kling 3.04 synchronized audio-visual scenes, Qwen 2.5 integrated into the broader system recently. They also launched Cinema Studio 2, which acts as an end-to-end AI filmmaking pipeline. Instead of jumping between multiple tools for image generation, animation, audio editing, everything lives inside a single workflow, and that matters more than people realize. Creative flow breaks when your workflow breaks. When you remove friction, iteration becomes faster. And when iteration speeds up, the output usually gets better. So let's test the part that matters most. The first frame. We're inside Cinema Studio 2.0. The system follows a simple structure. Text, image, video, but the key difference is intent. Instead of generating random images, you start by building a deliberate cinematic frame. That means thinking in terms of shot composition, framing, visual grammar. Once the frame is created, you convert it into motion. One interesting feature here is the use of camera and lens profiles as style anchors. These anchors help maintain visual continuity between frames instead of drifting into something unexpected. In practical terms, this means you start by defining the look of the shot, then animate it without losing that visual identity. But the entire pipeline depends on one thing. The first frame has to hold up under scrutiny. If you zoom in and details break apart, everything downstream suffers. That's where the image engine becomes critical. Everything we just built inside Cinema Studio depends on the strength of the first frame. If the base image falls apart, animation exposes it immediately. The image engine powering this stage is Nano Banana Pro. It can generate images at 1K, 2K, and full 4K resolution. And you can upscale directly to 4K, which matters for creators who need flexibility. A wide shot can become a thumbnail. A mid shot can become a vertical clip for short-form content. But one feature really stands out: accurate text generation. Things like headlines, UI, labels, product packaging, infographics. If you've ever tried generating mockups with AI, you know how rare that is. When text renders correctly, images become usable in real content, not just demos. The model also handles visual reasoning surprisingly well. If you prompt specific counts or structured elements, the output often respects that logic. And identity consistency is stronger too. Faces maintain their structure across angles and wardrobe changes, which matters when you're building recurring characters or narrative scenes. So in practical terms, you're starting with a frame that's high resolution, structurally stable, readable, and visually consistent. And that makes animation much more reliable. For years, AI video had one obvious limitation. It was silent. If you wanted voice or ambient sound, you had to generate them somewhere else and stitch everything together later. That extra step broke immersion. With Kling 3.0, visuals and audio are generated together. Dialogue and environmental sound are part of the same output, and that changes how scenes feel. Sound shapes how we interpret motion. When footsteps match the environment and dialogue aligns naturally with the camera shot, the entire scene feels intentional. The model supports 108op output and improved motion stability when multiple objects move inside the same frame. That means fewer visual glitches, smoother camera pads, better scene coherence instead of generating separate pieces. You would generate a unified shot, and when sound and motion originate together, the scene feels cohesive from the start. If you've experimented with AI video even 2 years ago, you've probably noticed the limitations. Earlier tools could generate impressive short clips, but building sequences was difficult. Faces drifted, motion broke, audio had to be added later. You weren't building scenes, you were stitching fragments together. What's changed now is structural. The focus has shifted from spectacle to cohesion. Instead of asking, can it generate something cool? The question has become, can it stay consistent over time? Modern models are no longer just predicting pixels. They're modeling continuity. That means stable character identities, believable camera movements, scenes that maintain internal logic, and just as importantly, tools are becoming unified production environments. Instead of jumping between platforms, creators can work inside a single pipeline. And that consolidation is what makes this generation feel different. It's not just better visuals. It's better structure. Ultimately, the biggest bottleneck in content creation isn't ideas. It's iteration speed. Structured AI pipelines reduce friction exactly where projects usually slow down. Instead of juggling multiple tools, you work inside a tight loop. Concept, visualize, adjust, repeat. This makes it easier to test ideas quickly, refine scenes earlier, eliminate weak directions before production. It doesn't replace traditional filmmaking, but it dramatically improves the stages before it. Zoom out for a moment. The biggest shift here isn't just speed, it's structure. Over the last few years, AI video tools have evolved from experimental demos into integrated production systems, and demand for video content keeps increasing, especially short-form video across social platforms. Creators are under constant pressure to produce more content faster, with higher visual quality. Unified AI workflows address exactly that challenge. When image generation, animation, and audio all happen inside the same system, creators stop thinking in fragments. Instead of assembling disconnected assets, they start building complete sequences from the beginning. That changes how ideas are developed. Visual identity stays consistent. Camera movement becomes intentional. Sound reinforces the environment instead of being added afterward. And that consistency improves creative confidence. Creators can evaluate whether a scene works while they be building it, not after editing. That means validating pacing earlier, testing tone before committing, budget, exploring variations without locking into production time. And that's why this generation of AI video feels different. It's not just more realistic. It's structurally reliable. If you made it this far, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to try the Higgsfield AI workflow we explored in this video, you'll find all the links in the description. For more interesting topics, check out the recommended video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching.